Hi, good morning, grade ones. It's Mrs. Clark again. How you doing today? So we are going to start learning about new things this month. But before we do, let's start with our calendar. So today, it's a brand new month. What new month is it today? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a J and it rhymes with moon. That's right, it's June. So today is Monday, June the 1st, 2020. So I'm only going to be doing a video on Monday. So that means it's your job to do calendar every day. So tomorrow you will do calendar and say that it's Tuesday, June the 2nd. Then you'll do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Friday, we will have our Zoom meeting at 11 o'clock. So we'll continue doing that. But instead of doing it on Wednesdays, we will now do it on Fridays. Okay, so today we are at school. What comes after 162 days? So what comes after 162? Can you tell me quickly? That's right, 163. So we have been at school for 163 days. So next week, when I do my video on Monday, will it be 164? No, it will not. So I'm going to give you that clue. See if you can figure out how many days we would be at school next Monday. That's a tricky one, isn't it? All right, so what month comes after June? July. Good. And what month comes after July? August. And when do you come back to school? And you're going to be in grade 2? And September. That's right. So July and August are our 2 summer months. And September is when you come back and you're going to be in a new grade. So that's pretty exciting. All right, so I have my computer on my wheelie chair, so I'm just going to wheel you over to my whiteboard. So this week, we are going to learn a word family. So I'm going to read you a book first. This is called Jake's Cake Mistake. So can you guess what word family we're going to learn about? I'll read the title again, or you can take a look. Jake's Cake Mistake. Do all those words rhyme? They do. Okay, so let's read it. Jake the snake lived at the lake. One day he decided to bake what do you think? A cake. See, like there's a cake. He's dreaming of a cake. He's thinking of a cake. But what kind of cake did Jake want to make? It had to be special for his friends at the lake. First, he gathered up leaves with the little what? What's this called? A little rake. Then mushed in real mud. It couldn't be fake. Good. Froggy loves flies, thought Jake the snake, and Mouse will want berries inside his cake. I'll add yummy beetles for the duck and the drake, and some wiggly worms for my bird friend, Blake. A lot of ache words in this book. The fish will want water straight from the lake, and I'll add gobs of honey for Bumblebee's sake. Wow, look at that cake. Look at that, boys and girls. Would you want to eat that cake? I don't know. I don't think I would want to. He shook the whole mixture, shake, shake, shake. And he topped it all off with frilly snowflakes. But then Jake the snake made a big mistake. He dropped the cake for goodness sake. But he'd run out of time, so he had to take that very same cake to his friends at the lake. Now the super surprise from Jake the snake was a big, a globby, a gooey, upside down cake. But his friends all cheered. This is no mistake. We'll just stand on our heads and eat right side up cake. That's a good problem solving. Hey, that's good problem solving. So there you go. So what word family are we going to learn about this week? The ache word family. That's right. So if you take a look at my whiteboard, there are some. Can you see that? Maybe I'll just hold it up to the screen. So here are some ache words. Okay, so you know A-K-E says ache. So if I add an R in front of it, it would say rake. This would say snake. Can you read that? Lake. What does that say? Make. What does this say? Take. Bake. Ache and ache, right? So they all have that ache. So that's called the ache word family. So what I want you to do this week, look at your word family booklet that got sent home last week, and I want you to start working on your ache work. There's 2 sheets that you can work on, but don't forget that you can play games with these words as well. So you know all the games and activities that you play when you're learning your words of the week. Now you do the same thing, but with your ache words, okay? So that's what I'd like you to do this week for your word family ache. So this week in math, you are going to practice skip counting. So this week, I want you to practice skip counting by tens all the way to 100. I want you to practice skip counting by fives all the way to 100. And I want you to practice skip counting by twos. See if you can go to 20. If you want to challenge yourself, even go further and see if you can go to 100. In your booklet here, I've asked for Mom and Dad to work on the sheets that are all about skip counting. There's a couple at the front or at the beginning of your package, and there's a couple at the back. Okay, so work on skip counting. We've been doing it all year, so that should be easy peasy. But by the end of grade 1, you should know how to skip count by fives, tens, and then by twos just to 20. All right, what we're going to learn this week as well is money. So money. So in my bag here, I have some coins. So when you see this coin here, okay, so it's silver and gold, do you know how much this is worth? What do you think? Is it worth $1? No, here, I'll show you in the paper version too. So it's the one here with the polar bear. How much is that worth? That is called a toonie, and it's worth $2. I'm just trying to get a pen here. Here's a pen. There you go. So it's the one with the polar bear is called a toonie. So a toonie equals $2. Okay, so I'm going to show you that again. See, look here, it has a polar bear. Okay. So how many, let's talk about the loonie first. And I just told you what this is called. So the one here, what's this one called? Okay, so it's just like gold, and it has, I'll give you a hint, it has a loon on it. So this duck is called a loon. So what is that coin called? That's right, it's called a loonie. So loony toonie, they rhyme, don't they? So a loonie is worth $1. So how many loonies do I need to make a toonie? So this is worth $2, this is worth $1. So I need 2 loonies to make a toonie. Okay, so there we go. All right, our next one is this one. This one that has the moose on it. So what's that? Right there. What's that called? How much is that worth? Does anyone know? Okay, this one's hard. It starts with a QU. That's right, it's called a quarter. And how much is a quarter worth? It's worth 25 cents. 25 cents. So, bonus question here. How many quarters do I need to make $1? So, how many quarters do I need to make $1? Can you tell me? Think about it. So, 25. I'm trying to find another quarter. What's 25 plus 25? It's 50. So, how many do I need to make 100? $1. That's right, I would need 4 quarters to make $1. All right, let's go on. So in the next one is this one with the boat on it. What's this boat called again? I think it's called the Blue Nose. Yeah. So how much is this worth? First of all, what's it called? It starts with a D. Can you tell me? Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm writing on the board. It's called a dime. And how much is a dime worth? Is it worth $3? No. Is it worth 30 cents? No. Is it worth 10 cents? That's right. So it's worth 10 cents. That's called a dime. So how many dimes do I need to make a dollar? How many? Let's do that. Let's count it by tens all the way to 100 because a dollar is just 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. How many fingers am I holding up? 10. So you need 10 dimes to make $1. All right. This is some heavy math. Okay, our next one. This one with the beaver on it. So this coin, what's this one called? I'll give you a hint. Starts with an N. Tell me. A nickel. That's right. This is a nickel. And how much is this worth? How much is a nickel worth? Do you know? I'll give you a hint. You need 2 nickels to make a dime. How much is it worth? It's worth 5 cents. Okay, so 5 cents. And again, that's called a nickel. Now, this next coin I'm going to show you is now obsolete. That means we don't see these anymore. But when I was your age, we used these all the time. And believe it or not, when I went to Eastside Grocery, because I lived beside Eastside Grocery, all the candies, I could get candies for one of these coins. This is called it starts with a P. Can you tell me? P. It's called a penny. And this is worth 1 cent. Now, we don't see these anymore. Okay, so our government got rid of the pennies. But when I was your age, I could go to Eastside Grocery and buy candy with 1 penny. Ask your mom and dad. I'm sure they'll remember that. I used to go and buy 100 candies, and it would only cost me this amount of money, $1. Believe it or not, everything has, now it's more expensive. But that just tells you how old Mrs. Clark is. All right, so this week I want you to learn about money. I want you to see if mom and dad can get some money for you, some coins, and play around with it. See how much, like a toonie, how many loonies how many loonies to make a toonie. Think about how many quarters you need to make $1. Okay, so play around with the money this week. In your booklet, you also have here the coin values. It asks you to write the value on the coins. So we just went over that with you. So just remember, the penny has the maple leaf. That's worth 1 cent. I think that's a caribou, not almost. The caribou is a quarter and it's worth 25 cents. The one with the loon is called a loonie and it's worth $1. The one that has the boat is called a dime and that's worth 10 cents. The one with the beaver is called a nickel and it's worth 5 cents. And the coin with the polar bear is called a toonie and it's worth $2. Okay, so there's a few sheets in there that you can work on, but I also would like you to actually touch the money and play around with it. Hi. Okay, so this week we are also going to learn how to plant a seed. Okay, so this week we're focusing on how to plant a seed. So on Friday, your mom and dad or somebody from the school someone picked up your June packages and a little flower pot with soil and a seed. So I'd like you to get that out right now, and we are going to plant a sunflower seed together. So very carefully take out the sunflower seed from the saran wrap. Okay, throw that out or recycle it. And place it down on a table. In your booklet, turn to page 23. Okay, so that is how to plant a seed. So let's go through it together. How do we plant a seed? Have you ever planted a seed before? Maybe you have. Maybe you've helped your mom or your dad with planting your garden, but we're going to plant a seed and we are going to track its growth in the next 4 weeks. Hopefully, we will see some change. Okay, it says first, you need to make sure you have all the right tools. You'll need a seed, a flower pot, soil, and water. Now, Mrs. Clark watered the soil, but you might want to go get a little cup with some water. But we have all that. So we have our, what did it say first? Our seed. So here's our seed, our flower pot, soil, and there's lots of water in the soil. Okay, so we have that. What's next? Let's see. It says, put some soil in your flower pot. So Mrs. Clark did that for you because I wanted to make sure that I didn't know if you had any soil at home. So I gave you the soil. It says, carefully place the seeds on top of the soil. Add a little more soil on top of your seeds. So we could do it this way, but the soil is already in all of it in your flower pot. So what I want you to do instead is make a hole. Okay, so make a hole with your pinky, a little hole, probably to the middle of your pinky, and then you're going to put the seed, drop it in, okay, and then cover the hole with the soil, just like that. Okay, so that's what we do. What's our next step? It says, give your seeds some water. They will need it in order to grow into a plant. Be careful, do not use too much water or your plant will not grow big and strong. So take a look at your soil. So take a look at mine. Mine already looks pretty wet, but I will add a little bit of water. Your soil probably is a little drier, so you should add a little bit of water, but not too much. Because why can't we have too much water? Because then our plant will not grow big and strong. Now it says, now sit back and enjoy the show. It may take some time for your seed to grow. Hey, show and grow rhyme. So be patient. It will come out when it's ready. Just make sure you take good care of it by giving it plenty of water, not too much, and sunlight. And actually, these sunflower seeds, because it's June, you can leave this outside. So find a place in your backyard or front yard, but you don't have to keep it inside. Okay, so keep this outside next to, make sure that it gets sunlight sometime during the day. Okay, and it says when your plant has grown, which it hasn't yet, but once it's grown, you can transplant it into your garden for everyone to see and admire. So when our plant starts growing, do you think that the sunflower is going to get big and strong in this tiny little pot? No, it won't. So we'll have to transplant it to your garden where it's bigger, so it has lots of room to grow and for its roots to grow. All right, and then that's it. So this week, you're going to plant your seed, which you just did with Mrs. Clark. And then what I'd like you to do is turn to page. So I'm going to provide all this work for Mom and Dad. So I'm sending home this sheet, which is all the work that I'd like you to complete this week. So this is going to be emailed to your mom and dad. So it's asking to turn to page 33.
Carol Knodel, your mealworms are in the office for you in a sour cream container. Carol, your mealworms are in the office for you in a sour cream container.
Did you hear? That's Mrs. Dunlop. I'm at this school. So turn to page 33. It says how to plant a seed. So this page 33, if you are a really, really great reader and you want to challenge yourself by reading this and answering the questions on the back, please do so. Okay? But the expectation is that you do page 35. So it's just a little bit of reading and then answering the questions. If you want to do both, great. Maybe mom or dad or an older sibling can help you with the reading on page 33. So the reading is a little bit more difficult here. The reading is a bit simpler on this page, on page 35. Okay, so it's a little bit of reading, and then it's asking you to answer some questions about plants. Okay, so do that, and that's it for the week. Make sure that you're still writing in your journals. So I've asked that mom and dad get you to do 2 journal entries this week. There are some topics to choose from. Would you like me to read them to you right now? Okay, so one, of course, is write what you did on the weekend. I always love to read what you did on the weekend. Another topic is, which is better, winter or summer? Write about the reasons why you think winter or summer is better. I know what I like better, but I'm looking forward to hearing what you like better. I think I asked you guys during the winter. I think a lot of you love winter. I like summer better. Okay, and then I'm asking you to write a story using these 5 words: dinosaur, time machine, forest, running, gigantic. That sounds like a really exciting story. And your last option is, what is a food you dislike? Write about it. Remember, you only have to choose 2. Okay, you don't have to do it every day, just choose 2. And then, of course, don't forget about doing your Lexia. Okay, so it's really important that you keep up with your Lexia minutes. That is your reading component in grade 1. Okay, so make sure to do Lexia. If it's getting really hard for you, don't give up. Okay, don't give up. Eventually, the more you do it, it will become easy. Remember, there's always IXL Math that you can go onto if you're looking for more math work. Remember that you have Epic Books online. If you're looking to read a book, go onto that website and you can find books about any topic on there. So make sure to do that. If you don't like reading books on a computer, I don't, make sure to pick up a book and read a book, right? So make sure you're reading every day or else somebody is reading to you. Talk about who the characters are. Talk about what the problem is in the story. What's the solution? Okay, so make sure to ask those thoughtful questions as well. All right, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Friday for our Zoom meeting. I will send Mom and Dad a link probably sometime this week and telling them what the topic is. Have a wonderful week. I miss you all. Bye.